can tell you what her process was, that she in many ways was a rather pragmatic person, and so continuing to harbor rage and anger towards Gangwu, she realized very quickly was not going to help her. I mean, it wouldn't allow her to move on with her life, and that's what she really was impatient to do when she was going through the hospital and rehab process. So that's why, and plus it just takes a lot of energy. And she was pretty tired in those early days. When you're in the hospital and intensive care, being woken up every few hours, it's easy to let go pretty quickly. And she just wasn't the type to hold on to that kind of anger or resentment. There was one moment where we were in contact with the family. There was an older sister who more or less raised this somewhat troubled young man, and she wrote a letter while Miya was in rehab, which we received, which was forwarded to us from the university when she was in rehab. And of course, none of us read Mandarin, so it took a while for us to get the letter translated. But basically, it made very clear that very little information was getting through to China as to what happened, and let alone what this gunman did on this campus. They did downplay it. Those of you who saw the film Dark Matter, Miya and I actually went to the Bay Area premiere of that film, and we did meet the director of that film, and he had no idea of her existence, that she was the sole survivor of this incident, and he basically set out to make an art film, just inspired by this character. And he wanted to sort of enter that psychology. He wasn't interested in recreating the Iowa City incident. But he really had no idea who Miya was, and was quite surprised when we sort of popped up in front of him and told him, well, this is who we are. And but to get back to the letter, basically the sister was told what happened, and she was absolutely devastated. The mother apparently, I think, was suffering from a heart condition at the time, and so they weren't going to pass on the whole story to her until much later, if ever. I don't know if that ever happened. And after that one letter, we have not been contacted by the family at all. That was just the one moment.
Just wanted to add something about this issue of forgiveness. Anne Clary's brother's family actually expressed that very strongly, that they felt very sorry for the Chinese family. That was quite remarkable. And we just found out that they have given a very generous donation to Whirlwind International, which was Miya's favorite charity. So I was very touched by that, even to this day. So I believe they're Catholic, but in any case, they were very, very forgiving from practically day one.
Did Miya get a chance to see any part of this film before she died?
If Miya got to see part of the film before she died.
Okay, well, it was as Daniel will tell you, it was a multi-step process. She saw the trailer. I can tell you that she squirmed quite a bit, because hearing compliments was, she never even learned how to accept a compliment gracefully. Ross Frank's quotation about moving through space, which is very moving, and those of us who knew Miya knew exactly what she was talking about. And Miya heard that, and she did the old eye roll, which you've seen several times tonight, and grimaced a little, and she said, "Oh gosh, turn it off, turn it off." So she saw the trailer. Then in the final week of her life, the family gathered, and she made it known. She was able to make it known. She was only in and out of consciousness, and she was able to make it known that she wanted to, if possible, see the film. And I believe you had the anti-penultimate or the penultimate cut at that stage?
No, that was the penultimate.
That was the final cut.
Yeah.
Okay, and so that was shown in her hospital room. Oh, and boy, I bet they were kind of fed up with us. There was a large crowd in Mia's room. But we don't know how much she was able to process of it. We like to think that she heard it. She was having trouble keeping her eyes open, and she was drifting in and out of consciousness. But we do like to think that she heard most of it.
That was the real premiere.
Yes.
Yeah. Right.
No, it's just yeah, we will never know, but just the fact, with me, I don't know, Renato can correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems like sometimes she would want things to happen even though she was denying them, and I know that from a little bit from Kelly, who became a friend and is one of the three attendants, that Kelly told me it several times, yeah, it's really happy, you're making a film about her. but in front of me, she would always say, oh no, an interview again. Oh no, one more. So, it's kind of, I don't know, that's how I see it. So that, it seems to me that she was happy that it was happening.
Daniel, can you talk a little bit about the, not necessarily technical difficulties of producing this, but the bureaucracy, the money, the overall difficulties, and perhaps some of the easier things that came your way in making this great production?
Well, many people have told me, you have to go the regular route for an independent filmmaker, which is, applying to 1 million grants and hoping for the best and waiting for months and at a time. And of course, after Miya was diagnosed in May of 2007, I knew that was totally ridiculous. As a matter of fact, if we had gone that route, we would probably be ready tonight or tomorrow to start production, which would be very helpful. So what I decided is just to take a year off my other job and just actually finance it myself. So there was no bureaucracy, no difficulties, no problem. The program started just lately, but not at the time, because it was an easy, fast decision, and I'm to this day very happy I made it, because otherwise, obviously, this film would never have been made. So.
Any other questions?
Is the movie being released? I don't understand how the process goes. So is it, besides the possible PBS, will it be released in a way will other people be able to see
Question
it?
about the release of the film.
Well, there's different ways. It's not what they call feature-length film, which is 75 minutes or more, so we are not really trying to do theatrical release, even though in the San Francisco Bay Area we could do that for like a week at a time, but we're not pursuing that route, because what we did is, several, we had a premiere in Oakland, California. This is the Iowa premiere. Tomorrow there will be a second screening in Iowa in Ames, where Miya grew up. Part of the time. So basically what we're doing right now is applying to many film festivals. It's almost what you have to do to garner some recognition, and the next step would be to approach various television outlets, and of course public television being one of the most probably, it will probably fit quite well there. So that would be only a second step. We first have to garner some recognition from the various film festivals. Second step would be television broadcast, because a lot of stations have a 1 hour slot, so it's perfect for that. But it's not as simple as that, because they all have their particular standards. It has to be 57 minutes and a half, or 56 and 3/4, or 59. So every time, even if we do get a contract like that, we have to kind of redo some editing, and like Jackie mentioned, the closed captioning and other quite expensive things to meet their standards. So, but first of all, the festival circuit, and then a few screenings, in various cities. Obviously, Iowa was because Miya, all these things happened here because she grew up in Ames. That was one of the first. But I understand that Jackie has an intention to do smaller screenings, maybe, sponsored by various churches in the area. That would be maybe the next step for Iowa. In the San Francisco Bay Area, we have also a lot of requests from various churches and social justice organizations. So we're going to do probably probably smaller screening, like 50, 100 people at a time, and raise awareness, and when times come to go into festivals, hopefully this year, in the next few months, and then hopefully to get some contract for broadcasting, then we'll be ready. So that's what we're trying to do.
And meanwhile, the DVD is available for personal purchase.
For institutions.
For institutions, libraries, etc. Yes.
Is there another question back there?